Being able to build up the timeline as well as along the timeline for things like simple compositing effects is something that editors are being asked to do on a very frequent basis. So we're going to have a look at a few of the little different tricks and techniques that we can use when we're doing sort of alpha compositing work. So I've got a bit of green screen footage here, and I'm going to come into my BCC key and blend. You see we have a large number of effects available to us, and we're going to just do a simple, straightforward chroma key here. And I like to use the BCC Chroma Key Studio. So I'm going to apply that over the top, come into my effects. And the great thing about the Chroma Key Studio is it's like a load of different effects all within a single filter. And just by working down the effect, we can start to build up our key nice and quickly. The first thing we need to do here is do a bit of a garbage mask. Now, if we were just wanting to come in and crop the sides, we can use the crop tool directly within the widgets here to be able to do that. But what we've also got, if I just undo that a couple of times, what we've also got is actually, if I turn my quick mask on, and I can even do like a nice quick mask going on there. And if you've got a more even key, this can be a good way of actually fixing your key with just a single click. And even if you don't, you can use this quick key to sort of limit the actual amount of proper keying you have to do. So we'll keep that there for a second, and what I'm now going to do is work our way down just a little bit. I still need to do my garbage mask. So we've got a outside mask shape, so that's stuff we want to take out, and we've got things like rectangle, egg shape, or a spline mask. So if I turn the spline mask on and come up to my custom UI or custom spline UI here, I can then be clicking and dragging. I could be making myself up a rather nice custom garbage mask shape. So we can take that light out of the way there. Cool. And I'm going to actually turn my quick mask off for a second because I want to show you something else we've also got, which is the pre-key cleanup here. So if I select a little key there and turn my options to the pre-key cleanup selection, what you can see is I can now come in and do like a little rough key here, because what I want to do now with this, if I turn my pre-key cleanup output on, so you can see that, what I can do is I can make my key a little bit easier, either by increasing the saturation or changing the saturation up a little bit, or using a cleanup method which pushes everything to the solid. So I've got a very rough key light here, so that everything at the top is a lot brighter than the stuff at the bottom, a lot of fall off. If I push that to the solid, you can see that that takes out those differences and gives me a nice, easier to key area there. So now when I come in to do my proper chroma key, select my color here, and we'll have a look at the chroma key matte. What I can then do is then change my density, balance and lightness up to get a decent key there, or decent start point for the key there. What I also have while I'm here is an inside mask shape. So if I turn that to egg shape and turn this to my UI controls here, what this is going to do is going to add a hold-in mask. So this stuff is always going to be held in. Of course, coming back here, I've got built-in spill suppression on, which we can change up. And that'll just suck out some of the green there. We don't want to take it too far. Then working our way down, we could also clean up the matte just a little bit to try and take out some of these edges here. So just pull that in, bring it in there. I can see I need to bring that in slightly as well. And we also have a matte choker, which I can turn on. That'll just help to refine our edges just a little bit as well, just to help. And finishing up, we have built-in color correction. So we can help to change the colors there, though I'll turn the color correction off because I'm going to do that in a separate filter in a moment. And we also have light wrap as well. That's just going to help to sort of smooth out that transition just a little bit. So I'll make this one really obvious for you to see. So I'll change the blend mode, change the width, change the softness. You see the before and the after there on the light wrap. So we have it as obvious or as subtle as we need it to be. So we can mix it back a bit. There we go. So all of that is just built into one single clip. Now I want to flip this girl horizontally so that the light coming in through the windows matches the light in the hair. So I'm fine with the chroma key up there like that. So I'm going to come down to the BCC perspective and use a BCC fast flipper to flip the girl over. And I'm holding down Alt and bringing a next filter over the top. But take a look what happens there. What it's doing is it's flipping both the foreground, the green screen image, and the background one. And why is it doing that? Well, if you've seen the video about the basic titling, you'll know why that's happening. It's because we're working with stuff with an alpha channel. We need to let the Boris filter node pass that information over to Avid. So I'm going to open up my BCC Chroma Key Studio again, and I'm going to come to the title mat here, and I'm going to say multi-filter start. And that creates a lovely, weird little image here at the top, but we'll get rid of that. So I come up to the fast flipper, remember to turn the bypass off again, and go multi-filter end. Aha. And so now that's just flipped the girl rather than the girl and the background. So let's take a look now. If I wanted to add another filter in here, say let's add a maybe a tritone effect. So again, alt click to add that in there. And so now if we open up the BCC fast flipper, it's not a multi-filter end anymore. It's a mid. And on my tritone, we go multi-filter end. And now that's only applying that tritone effect and the fast flipper effect and the chroma key to the foreground layer. So let's come in, change the midpoint color up a little bit, mix with the original, and that will just help to sit a bit better within the image. And this little technique works for anything that's got an alpha channel. So things like titles or graphics you brought in from another application or anything with a built-in alpha channel, you need to remember to start up that multi-filter start, mid, and always have the last effect with multi-filter end turned on. So if I'm happy with this effect and I want to use it maybe a few more times, it's probably going to be a good idea to save presets. And we can save presets either directly within the BCC filter. Let's call this one Ben Green Screen. So any of the presets that we save here can be shared around, not just for the individual Boris Continuum Complete package you might have, but between the families of Boris Continuum Complete. So it means you can swap presets between AVX, OFX, and the Adobe versions, which is really, really cool. But if you also want to save things another way for maybe sharing between colleagues or reusing between different projects, is we can create a new bin. And I'll just call this one Ben Saved Effect. And I can grab the filters and save these into a bin. And then with my next project, I can open up my bin and import this into my other project. And I've got those effects there for me to use straight away. So those are just a few little different tips for how we deal with green screen and working on multiple layers with multiple effects in Avid Media Composer.